everyone, and welcome to another episode of the HighLevel Release Radar, where we recap the latest releases from HighLevel. As always, I'm joined by Ryan Howell, who is on a layover at the airport right now, but he seems to have found himself a nice, quiet, cozy little place.
Nobody around for now.
I love it. Well, I think the noise cancellation is doing a heck of a job over there. And I'm just going to send us live in the Facebook group real quick so that we can kick this week's episode off. We're going to share into the group, official community, paste. There we go. All right. As always, if you can see us and you can hear us, please say hello in the comments. We love to see your comments pop up. And, check in, see how you're doing. Hope you had a great week. Hope you're enjoying the releases as well. With no further ado, Ryan, what do you say we hop into it?
Let's do it.
Switch my view over here and toggle this on. There we go. Fantastic. First release of the week. Dashboards. We have assigned data congruence. What do we have going on here?
Well, I guess this could be a vocabulary lesson for some people. That's how I interpreted this. So essentially, if you've got that setting enabled for a specific user, like only allow user assigned data, only allow them to see user assigned data and their permissions, then when they look at a dashboard, that's going to be congruent or match up to what they're allowed to see. So if they're not allowed to see sales data and like financial stuff, those widgets aren't going to be, they're not going to populate with data. And in the next screen, you'll see an example of like what that looks like. It says, permission required, and just has a nice kind of interface there to let them know what's going on, why they're not seeing stuff.
Got it. That's a great one. Yeah. So the permissions actually true up to the reporting dashboards that you can see as well. That's great.
Yeah.
Warren, what's up? How's it going? Thanks for checking in. Same thing. Shout out from Anirudh. Hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Thanks for checking in from YouTube. Great to see everybody. Let's check out what our next release of the week was. Affiliate Manager. Affiliate enrolled in campaign trigger. Oh, this one's a great one. A lot of stuff you could do off of this, right?
Yeah. So this way, when an affiliate gets added to a campaign, of course, you can select what campaign, then you can have a very specific workflow around that. Maybe you have a special nurture sequence you want to put them through. Maybe you want to enroll them into a course or something, and now you have that flexibility to kind of trigger a bunch of actions off of that type of event.
This makes a ton of sense. I think the best of the affiliates, the ones at the top of the leaderboard, are the ones who do provide their affiliates with some sort of course, additional training, assets, that kind of stuff. And so this just makes that easy, super simple, right? You can allow people to just trigger off of when they're getting their affiliates. That's awesome.
Exactly.
This one's great. The WaitStep enhancement. So in the past, if you have building workflows, you know that when you put a WaitStep with a timeout, you would then have to add an if else to check whether they replied or not, to see if they moved forward because they replied or if it timed out, right? And now you just get by default 2 paths. You don't have to do that extra step.
Yeah, and what I like about this too is it's kind of a foreshadowing of some things to come, where there's going to be more explanation, more text around what an action does, and that UI now looks really, really solid.
Yeah, love it. Warren is desperately waiting for his VoiceBot. Yes, the feedback on that has been amazing. If you haven't checked out the video, hit our YouTube channel and just search Voice AI demo. We've gotten so many comments. We did I think, Ryan, you did a town hall with the number, right? That people could call in and test it. And the feedback was just overwhelmingly positive.
I always get nervous at the live demos, but the team put in a huge amount of work on the back end here, and it went off fine. I've been testing it with myself, showing my family. Like, everybody's impressed here. So it's coming soon.
It's coming soon, and it is going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, next up, Ad Manager. You can now create audiences when you're launching your ads, which is very cool. Ryan, why would you want to create an audience?
Well, mostly there's a couple different use cases, but if essentially you want to save an audience. So it's like, okay, here's all the parameters and the settings that I want for these types of people I want to talk to. now you can create that within the ad manager, again, without having to go into Facebook. You'll also be able to create what's called lookalike audiences. That's really interesting because you can take a section or a group of customers that you already have, and then Facebook does a whole bunch of magic to try to find people that are very similar to them. So the larger the list that you have, the better it works. There is a minimum there. I was asking the team about that. So if we're not meeting the thresholds for certain audiences, we'll have a nice display message indicating that and kind of giving you a path forward there as well. But really nice, simple integration here.
Nice. Next up, WhatsApp customer service window check action. This one is very powerful. You want to walk us through why?
Yeah. So WhatsApp, if you're not familiar, there's a couple different ways WhatsApp can work. And one of those is for customer service. And what that means is that somebody has reached out to you, and that opens this window. I believe it's a 24-hour window where you can have free messages back and forth, as many as you want. So this action now allows you to check whether or not that window is open, branches off into two separate areas, and you want to, continue the conversation or follow up with some actions if they were or were not in that service window.
Yeah, this is a money saver, right? Because before you might be sending paid messages to people who are within a window, and you could have sent a free message to them. So now you can just check and make sure that you're not paying for messages that you don't need to be.
Exactly.
Great enhancement. Affiliate manager with another one, e-commerce store support. We can now allow people to get credit off of sales through HighLevel e-com. Pretty massive.
Yeah, huge update there. And as always, it's super simple. You go in to create a campaign. You got now a new radio button for the e-commerce stores.
Love it. David Linton, howdy to you, sir. Hope you're having a great Friday. Thanks for checking in. And our next update is the prospecting tool. We now got this whole new look, which I think is awesome. We've got grading sheet sidebar and sidebar in the marketing report.
Yeah, this is mostly a UI update, but there's also a ton of new parameters that are coming in too. We've got a couple different screenshots, also explaining what these different colors mean. So that's kind of important there.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I mean, the report is just getting more and more robust, which is fantastic. It just makes it so much easier when you're hopping on those discovery calls or those sales calls. You've got all this ammunition now that you know about the business. And again, when you go to the premium prospecting tool, you can actually get an embeddable audit widget to put on your website so that your inbound traffic can basically opt into becoming a lead because they want to have an automated audit generated for them. So great work going on from that team over there. This one's kind of similar. Yext got some additional business attributes that you can set now, which is great. Just makes Yext even more powerful.
Yeah.
Not much to say on that one.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that's it. There's more attributes. You can put the services that you offer, different brands. You can add different brands under a similar name, and so forth. And then that all gets pushed to the online listings. So it makes your SEO even that much stronger because you're aligning all your services so you can be found more easily for what you do.
Yeah, makes your citations more robust, which I think is the main point that you want to make them more robust.
That's the one sentence I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. Our next update, Conversation AI has post-appointment booking actions. This is pretty cool and pretty intricate. I guess we received this request from the community. Ryan, you want to explain what this one does?
Yeah. So this essentially, it's kind of like a mini workflow. So without having to create some big workflow around Conversation AI, you can tell the bot what to do after it gets done booking appointments. Whereas before it would just kind of go into general and question answer. You can put it to sleep. You just got more options in terms of what happens once it's achieved its objective of booking an appointment for you.
Yeah, quite handy. Mm-hmm. Reputation management got an update. We now have HIPAA compliant reviews, initials only, which is pretty sweet. And I mean, that makes total sense. You want to explain why that's important?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, HIPAA is a set of regulations around medical information. And if you're doing some work for medical offices and different businesses that are involved in the medical industry, we have this HIPAA compliant feature, which is sort of separate. You pay extra for that. But then now with that, when they're leaving reviews for this medical company or what have you, their initials are only going to be displayed, and that way we're not breaking any kind of privacy issues, any privacy issues there, and making everything kind of compliant across the board for public facing reviews.
Yep, absolutely. Love it. Our next update is for WordPress. So we now have multi-site support within one sub account. This is fantastic. And I know a lot of people were asking for this.
Yeah, multi-site is kind of standard with a lot of, most, all the ones that I know of that do WordPress hosting. And this brings a lot of power into being able to sell WordPress hosting to larger companies that have different sites and so forth within one sub account. I think this was kind of a blocker to some people moving over. So there's many fewer excuses to not be using WordPress hosting at this point, because you can do it all here. You got backups, you got multi-site, blazing fast speed, really awesome stuff here.
And the unlimited option now. So $4.97 a month, and you can have unlimited WordPress sites across your sub account.
Truly unlimited. There is no soft limit there. Yeah.
Amazing. Would have saved our agency so much money compared to what we were paying to WP Engine when I was in the game. So major update to WordPress. If you haven't moved your sites over, you're probably wasting money, and you're probably leaving some speed on the table, which is one of the top ranking factors, right? So I think by migrating your WordPress sites into HighLevel hosting, you'll most likely see a speed increase, which should translate into better rankings as well. You can also cancel it if you're not feeling it. You can just go right in there and cancel it yourself without having to go through our support, which is always convenient. And our next update is this is pretty interesting one. In SaaS mode, you can now remove balance, which is pretty interesting. I was thinking about why would you want to do that? But I guess if like credits are piling up and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, I hope they don't go actually redeem all that credit on me. You can go deduct.
Yeah, that would be one way, or maybe there was a mistake, or they're canceling and you want to empty the balance. It resolves a lot of like accounting issues there, I guess I would say.
Yeah. I'm sure that there were very specific use cases for the request behind this. So I'm sure there's a bunch of folks that are really happy that you can now go deduct credit balance.
Yeah.
Next up, Dashboard's got another update. We've got Sidebar widget. Oh, this is cool, right? So this is like a UX tweak that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah. So instead of like having the sidebar cover, a third of the report and then making your changes, hitting save, and then looking at it and saying, oh, shoot, I didn't want it to do that. I wanted to do something else, and going back. Now it moves everything to the side so you can see the entire dashboard. And then when you save the changes, as you can see here, it updates live, and you don't have to wait for, closing the side window to see what the changes really are.
Yeah, very nice little quality of life. If you're building custom dashboards, I'm sure you are excited because you felt the pain before when you couldn't see the thing that you were trying to make changes to. So great work there from the dashboard team.
Oh, yeah.
This one was I'm super impressed on the turnaround time on this. Hopefully everybody knows that we, a couple of weeks ago, launched a setting where you can basically say, hey, I'm just getting started. My calendar looks sadly empty. I'd like to populate some phony booked slots to make it look like I'm not just getting started. And so when we did that, we rolled it out, and it would basically pick the same slots. And it was like, no, for it to really feel real, it should randomize the slots. And so team went back to work, and here we are. They rolled out the update this week, and it now randomizes.
Yeah, so no setting needed there. I'm just showing you where it is within the calendar with this GIF here.
Yeah, very powerful feature, again, for startup businesses, that don't want to show somebody a calendar where it's like, we're wide open. Now you can fake it till you make it, and it'll randomize those slots, which I think is pretty smart. Calendar's got another update. You can now, there's a custom value selector in some of the field settings within calendars, which is, again, just a nice quality of life, right? You don't have to remember what those short codes are.
Yeah, and it's specific to each one too. So it's the best way to use it, because those are the custom values that are going to be working, and custom fields and so forth. So use that, and you won't go wrong.
Very nice little quality of life update there. Workflow's got another update. We can now remove from workflows action okay, so we have the remove from workflow action, but it got enhanced. What's the enhancement, Ryan?
The enhancement is, before you could only like remove everybody or push everybody to the next step. Now you can select specific users, and big shout out to the team for turning this around. Initially, you could only select the first page. So if you had like a lot of contacts, but they implemented a very similar select tool if you've used it in contacts, where you can select that very top check mark. It will select everybody in that page. And then you can click on select all, in this case, 568 contacts or whatever, and it will select everything, and then you can push them through or remove them. So a lot more flexibility with this action. It's used a lot, frankly, because workflows change and you don't want to mess anything up. And this gives you the ability to make some changes without, screwing stuff up there.
Yep, very nice. I think if you're a workflow builder, you're going to be happy about this one, because you know how annoying that could be if you want to just push one person, not the whole batch. So nice flexibility there. Great work from the workflow team.
Yeah. And there's even more, because you can select what workflows you want to remove them from as well. So you get just a ton of settings in here for anybody that's messing around with contacts going through workflows. You now have like a ton more flexibility. So go check that out.
Right. Before you could only pick one, right? And now you can add multiple. Very cool. Awesome. Next up, Ad Manager gets another update, Snapshot support, which is pretty freaking awesome, right? So if you work within the niche and you've got a winning ad that you know is going to work for every new customer you get, now you don't have to go rebuild the ad in each account. You can put it in the snapshot and it'll be there waiting for you.
Yep.
That's the gist of it, right?
Yep, exactly.
Anything I missed?
That's all there is to it. Yep.
Awesome. Definitely, again, snapshots make onboarding so much faster than it ever was before the world of HighLevel. And now we've got ads in there as well. Great addition from the team. Communities gets a cool update. We can now transfer ownership of a community, and you can log in as somebody within your community to get their, what they can see, right?
Yeah. This is huge. And I mean, I'm sure this has come up many times, because I think we've got a lot of support tickets around it where it's like, hey, I created this, I'm the owner, but like I'm not actually the owner, and I'm like leaving the company, and I want the manager to now be the owner. So now you can do that within the UI. Makes it super simple. There's email confirmations that go out and so forth. So there's stop gaps in case you accidentally do something. But that's really cool. And then obviously really nice to be able to, like on the next screen, it kind of shows how you can log in as specific users, get their perspective, and see what different users are seeing. Maybe you have some private channels enabled. You're trying to troubleshoot what they can see, what they can't see. Really nice kind of troubleshooting tool here.
Nice. Love it. As everything with communities, the UI looks really great as well. Another calendars update, booking widgets to open. Oh, this is a cool one too. So walk us through this for folks that have calendars where it's like, okay, I run events sort of randomly, and the next one's pretty far into the future. Before, when you would open up the widget, you'd have to like click through the months and realize that like, wait, there's nothing available. There's nothing available. Oh, there it is. Now it just takes you right to the next slot, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's the exact thing. It took me a while to wrap my head around it, but that's basically the use case. So that they're not having to scroll through unavailable slots in different months, and they can just it'll place them right with the next open slot.
Yeah, very convenient for the folks that have been struggling because this didn't exist. They're super pumped. I saw a bunch of really excited people when this got announced. So makes total sense. Great update from the calendar team there. And we've got some further enhancements that went out this week. Instagram DM action now supports user comments on a post trigger.
Yeah.
Anything
I
to
think
add to that?
before that was like a Facebook only thing, and so they fixed it so that the DMs now work independently for Instagram.
Awesome. Conversations got an update. Manual actions page. Oh, cool. The manual actions page has been internationalized, which is awesome. The phone system got an update. We've got integrated notifications API for violation emails. If you're a dev and you were waiting for that, it's your week. And then the CRM got a security upgrade where strong password policy and rate limits got implemented just to keep it a little more secure, never a bad idea to tighten the old security belt.
Absolutely.
All right, it's that time of the show when we get to talk about what we're exciting that's coming down the line. And this week we're moving right along to some upcoming releases. Ryan never disappoints with the gifts. You gotta love old Kermit, right?
Oh yeah, gotta love Kermit.
Okay, this one was cool, and on our monthly town hall, when we were covering this, the chat lit up. People were super pumped. So yes, we are working with some hardware when it comes to ecom, and basically the ones that you can see on the screen are the ones that we're starting with. So high-level e-commerce will be compatible with this common hardware here, so that you can, if you're working at a front desk or something and you want to have the dongle and people tap their card to it and whatnot, you don't want to have to use people's phones, you can now use some hardware. So this is a pretty big step forward, and I think foreshadows a lot to come.
Yeah, and huge shout out to the team as well. We were hoping that Apple would provide us with an NFC chip and an iPad so that we wouldn't have to do this, but they didn't with the most recent iPad updates. And so they went to work and figured out, okay, what's on the market? How can we integrate it, make things simple, give people some choices? And they did a great job.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, I find that absolutely insane that iPads don't have NFT. Like what?
Yeah.
But it is what it is. And so for the time being, if you want to use the high-level POS system on an iPad at the desk or the counter or whatever, just grab one of these pieces of hardware and you'll be ready to rock.
Yeah.
Not live yet, coming very soon.
Yes.
Next up, we've got the media library on mobile, which is really exciting. Walk us through some scenarios where you need to be, dealing with media on the go.
Well, certainly if there are images within the library you want to message to people, I think this has been announced. Trying to be careful on our announcements. There's also going to be Social Planner is coming to the mobile app. So you'll be able to take images within the media library, use them for social posts, and there'll be flexibility using the camera there as well. But having access to the media center, media library, media storage, whatever we're calling it now, is I think very, very helpful here. And also being able to sort and look at different types of images and sizes and so forth.
Yeah, absolutely. I think businesses that are usually on the go, like home service and stuff, they always have to be taking pictures of things, attaching those pictures to invoices and whatever else it may be, contact records, custom objects soon. The idea is to just have the media library on the app, make it look beautiful, sortable, all that kind of stuff, so that you can attach images to anything on the go. It's looking great, and we're really excited to see that go live in the near future. We've got another one for you this week. Media library support in courses, which
this is kind of
very nice.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of huge. I mean, I think I'm not alone in being frustrated that you kind of had to do things separately there. So if you were uploading a lot of videos and courses and stuff, it's like you had to have to grab them from your computer or download them from the media library and upload them again. And now we're eliminating that and being able to attach files and so forth right within courses.
Absolutely. So many awesome updates coming to courses. We're going full steam ahead there. Really excited to announce a lot of the stuff that's coming down the line. But as you know, we've teased some of it in the past, like live streaming and events calendars and all that stuff that's going to drop soon in courses. It all looks really great. and it's in motion, and we'll roll out in the near future. All right, Ryan, I know that you need to run to a flight, and we don't want to make you miss it. So thank you so much for joining. And
yeah, but we have a couple minutes here.
okay.
If you're excited about all these new and upcoming releases, Chase, I think that there's a place where a lot more announcements are going to be made. I can't think of where it is though. Where is that?
That's right. So we're going to be in Dallas next month at our annual event, the High Level Summit. You can go to summit.gohighlevel.com to grab your ticket. I think there's a few tickets left. It's going to sell out very soon. And as always, we drop a ton of new features at that event. You get a first peek at everything, and including the roadmap to come. And so the whole thing's a really great time. And Ryan and I'll be there hanging out. We look forward to seeing everybody. And hopefully, if you want to go, you can get your tickets before they're gone. Summit.gohighlevel.com. All right, Ryan, take us out.
Take care, guys. Have a great weekend. Be safe. We'll see you next